video. We're going to get started in about 5 minute mark, so in about 2 minutes. That's after the video. But for right now, we're just coming back. So, how you doing? How's your day? Hey, hey. Hello. So yeah, I guess actually before we get started, since the start of my streams are usually when most people show up, I've been thinking about adding one more day per week of streaming, so it'll be 3 days per week instead of 2 days. What are your guys' thoughts? Because I noticed we've got a lot of games I've started, and I've not been very good at finishing games thus far. So we could basically just spend each day doing a different game, try and get the rest of Dark Souls just more casually, and then finish up Banner Saga, Fire Emblem, and this game. All at the same time.
It's already disappeared. Nothing lives here, not even you. He's gone, he's too slow. How could you keep going? How could you keep going? Ignore the pain. I told you it was you.
Oh. The voices are already getting on our nerves, which is just amazing. So, you missed in the last stream, we met Ella, and she broke her sword, so we no longer have one, and she threw us off the bridge, which is somewhere. I wonder if we can even actually see it. We cannot. Okay. So she threw us down from the bridge, and we died horribly. So I don't think this is the same bridge. I can turn up my own volume, so give me just a moment here. I didn't do any weird. Okay. I did not do that, so well, I cannot turn it up any farther, so I will just sleep down there. Easy solution. Anyway, so yeah, we got thrown off the bridge and are severely injured. Which is great. So yeah, this is actually a different bridge. You can see there's no big what's its face statue behind it, so this is some other bridge that's not in very good shape. But we have very pretty rocks and very pretty sand. These basalt formations of the kind of hexagonal pillars are totally legitimate for Orkney, especially the coast that's northwest coast of the island of Great Britain. Like, what was it? The giant steps in Ireland are the same exact material, and Orkney has the same things. And Iceland has them too. I've seen some very cool things that look just like that along the north coast of Iceland. Except that there was one that I saw that was uh, lava slipped. Weird. Okay, I will turn down the game audio more and then just even turn up the stream volume overall. Okay. Weird. Is that better? Let me know if it still is too loud. I can fiddle with settings to do it. Ooh, that ghost. That ghost is source fighting. Anyway, also, on the top here. Okay. Well, we are severely injured by the way, so that's... I cannot run right now. But anyway, we're trying to chase that ghost, and we're doing that through this bunch of washed up ships. Lots of struggling here. But yeah, we've got just a bunch of long ships here. These are all actually modeled on... Okay. Game, you don't have to check. These ships, as far as I know, actually modeled on those at the Viking Skippernet in Oslo. So these are completely legitimate designs for a Viking Age longship. All the ones at that museum are burials, most famously the Oseberg burial, which was found in the 19th century, but was a very wealthy female burial with a ship attached.
Before she first met him, she was not one of the things. Just a teenager again, not like Felix. Barely functioning, she rarely left the house. Her father's unborn made sure of that. Only occasionally did she venture out on her own, collecting firewood and hugs. Parents, not one of her playthings. That was her world. Like this one. Proud. Alone.
Okay, that's actually a fully complete longship right there. With the two bows, you can see it's actually identical to this one, they just used the same model with the same bird's head beak. So yeah, Leander asks what's up with those shields at the side. Those are mostly convenience. There is like an aesthetic reason for them, but it's also, you know, kind of where they stored them. There has been some argument that they could line them along the top plank there, and they would serve to basically increase the height of the ship if they got into a fight. So it would be a little more protection. But that side, the shield as they had there, is pretty much just on there more for convenience and for show than for any practical purpose. Those shields, well, are too far down to offer any meaningful additional protection, and you're not really trying to break a ship apart in naval combat in this time period. In a fight, the two ships would pull up alongside each other, and you'd throw spears and arrows at each other beforehand, but then you'd board and they would be mostly fighting with the ships lashed together. And so trying to... the ship itself does not need any extra protection. But a taller ship does offer better protection from spears and arrows, from a lower ship, so increasing the height of the walls has at least some value regardless. In the some of the Old English material, when Alfred the Great finally built the navy to fight to deal with the Norse raiders, his was the ships he made. The sources disagree. Some of them say they were lower and faster, and some of them say that they were higher and faster than the Norse longships. I think more sources say that they were higher ships, so just built them up taller so they could just run down the Norse ships without too much hassle. Okay. Oh, I thought that there was a Rubicon over here, but that must be too soon there. Yep. Okay. Still too soon. Anyway, the carved head there is also perfectly legitimate. Well, we kept having this constant conception that the Norse longship has a dragon prow on it, and some of them did, but there's actually a special distinction made for ships with a dragon head prow and those with some other prow, either a wolf or a bird head carved into it. So the largest ship attested in the Norse material is Olafur Tryggvason's ship, which is called the Dragon Ship. Presumably, that means that it had a dragon carving to the front bowsprit. Still not entirely sure on that, because obviously the ship did not survive, but pretty much every source just agrees, and in the 13th century sagas, they all communally decide that that is the biggest ship that has ever been constructed, regardless of historical reality. They believed it, so we'll go with them on that. This construction is also exactly right, with the overlaid planks, so that when the wood swells up in water, it actually seals the ship. So this is all actually done exactly according to our best understanding of how longships were constructed in the Viking Age, which is super cool. In general, like, this whole area is one of my favorites in the game, because it feels so very Scandinavian. Down to this rocky black beach, the washed up ships, with the one just lying out there, and these black basalt mountains. It is all dead accurate to how even parts of Iceland look, but also Orkney and this whole region of the world. No. Let's go actually chase down that ghost, because taking too long here would be bad. Because obviously Senua is not doing well, so we should probably not prolong for agony and get to where we can actually play the game then. Oh, we get a nice pleasant sunset. Or sun something. I actually don't know which direction I'm supposed to be walking. Oh, Actually, this was what I was going to say. This is something I forgot that they had in their world already. Uh, this past summer, I did a tour all around Iceland, and one of the places we went was this teeny tiny abandoned village along the northern coast. And out by the lighthouse, an old volcanic eruption had caused these same basalt pillars, but they actually curved and swept out into the ocean, and it was incredibly cool. And they look pretty much this exact same construction as they are right here. So that's pretty cool. And, well, we have a rope here that we could use to get down, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to drop. And the world's starting to look a little more dark again. So we're back. And we've got more areas here. And way across there we have another one of these halls that looks an awful lot like a Christian church. Just not quite. Though the open loft like that is actually, I looked it up, it's treated like, for a hall-ish. As far as we know, that's kind of an assumption. The sizing looks more akin to a state church, but that's fine. We have a rimstone here carved into the random piece of tree or of ship. So let's go take a look at it.
His name is Sigurd. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift to the other kingdoms. Many tried, but the sword comes under Sigurd's touch. His brother, King Sigurd, wants it, but Sigmund refuses it, so King Sigurd plots revenge. He invites Sigmund and his brothers to a feast, and they arrive. King Sigurd captures Sigmund and his brothers, steals his covenant sword, then brings them to execution.
Well, so yeah, if you want to have this section, or if that runestone did not lead the way, the runestones in this section tell the story of Volsunga Saga, which is probably the single best attested story in all of Germanic myth, because we have it in numerous versions, both in Norse and Old High German.
Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain, but the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agreed, not for mercy, but because he plans an even more cruel inroad. Chained to a tree falls that night. A she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravens, night after night, until only Sigmund is left. The next day, Sigmund's sister sends a serpent with honey to smooth Sigmund's face. That night, when the she-wolf appears again, you'll never guess what it is.
We get clickbaited so hard. Well, here we have some kind of door with the same weird nonsense symbols that we can't get through. So yeah. I can take a look here though at these gold-ish plated designs all around the door. This is exactly how a state church door is designed, with exactly this pattern, the arch of intertwined things, sometimes with mythological motives. One of the most famous of the these state church frontispieces actually tells the same story as we're hearing in the Runestones. It has scenes from Volsunga Saga, well, more specifically from Sigurd of Fafnir's life, including the killing of the dragon Fafnir. But that is one of our visual sources for it, coming from the 12th century in a Christian church. In front of the door has this pagan story. It's great. Well, this bridge would have once run all the way across the fjord here, but is pretty well busted now. And we still cannot run in any meaningful sense. So, whoops. We'll head back then, and hopefully we'll be able to walk again soon. Yay, and I'm already trying to drop things. Let's try. Okay. Well, as always, let me know if things start getting too bad. There's about a 10-second delay between when I say something and when you guys will hear it, but that's okay, we will make do. By the way, construction on this magnitude of bridges that go all the way across fjords was not possible in the Viking Age at all. They may have tried, but they are not usually something like that is not possible until modernity, when, for instance, Iceland built a tunnel that goes underneath Hellblade, which is just north of Reykjavik. So end up saving everyone about like an hour on the trip north. Anyway, let's take a look at the. I don't think there's a rune thing up there, but I want to double check because missing those is frustrating. We got on the phone into that. So yeah, we have them all. Great. So we're gonna limp on over into the next part of the game here. And my goal for this, assuming that the game holds out, is that we are going to try and get up to getting our new sword. But I'm noticing my computer is already starting to shut. So if the bitrate holds and if this continues to be watchable for everyone, we'll keep going. But if things get too bad, we will swap games. Okay. Well, this faithful ship, obviously, we don't have that many surviving ships, and most of the ones that we have were buried with people, so were possibly used, but also possibly were constructed to be buried. But something like this, we do know, is kind of frequently the fate of early attempts to build a Viking Age ship in the 19th century. There was a whole bunch of people who were really enthused about the idea before we actually knew how they were constructed, and built them, and they worked great in a river, and they put them out to sea and immediately sank and died. Which kinda sucks, but also is a good warning to not be foolish. Oh. This just goes back the way we came. Whoops. Okay then. We are personal. Okay, well, clearly I've been taking so long that even my ghosts have given up yelling at me to be left out at the end. So that's fun. Hmm. Anyway, I was talking about Wolfgang Saga, wasn't I? Wolfgang Saga, or the saga of the Wolfgang, so the descendants of Wolfgang. Yeah, okay, I think you're talking. Okay, Wolfgang Saga, is extremely well tested for any dramatic myth. We have adaptations of parts of the story or all of the story in numerous texts. The Codex Regius of the Poetic Edda has most of the Sega cycle in the second half of the manuscript. Unfortunately, there's a big gap missing about like the end of one poem and the start of the next.
Sigmund's face. He bites the wolf's tongue. The she-wolf pulls away, but Sigmund holds on. The chains break. He is free. After his escape, Sigmund lives like this, hidden in the forest. His enemy, King Sigurd, believing him dead, as his sister falls for revenge. Vengeance to succeed, even the great Sigurd hates her. So she sends her sons to him. But their blood is weak and corrupted, and they're put to death by Sigurd. So his sister watches him. One that is cold of heart.
So, yeah. The story of Sigmund's son, Sigurd, or Siegfried, is also told in the Old High German Nibelungen. It appears parts of it in Norma Guest's Falter, Dietrich's Saga, or Dietrich's Saga Affirmed, the story of King Theodoric. And appears in, let's see, what's the other adaptation? Volsunga Saga, Poetic Edda. Oh, Beowulf. The praise poem for after Beowulf kills Grendel mentions Sigemund, the Dragon Slayer. Yeah, this is so much prettier. These are also in lavender here, and looks like some kind of like theme. One would expect to see in Scandinavia, the wild lavender and sage. And these huts are actually what that time period construction in Orkney looked like. So this is the closest we see to a village as it should be. As it was before, everything went horribly, horribly wrong for her. When these are in bloom, the entire field of, like, the Icelandic mountainsides will turn entirely purple, all at once, and it's really quite beautiful. Though Iceland doesn't have a tree nearly this big. It's amazing. For a source for the best information about Norse myths and the world tree, Yggdrasil, There are no trees of significant height in Iceland.
What's your name?
Simon.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't know how much.
Oh, Zeno's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait. Who told you to fight like that?
No.
No.
Well, I watched you, and
You learned all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior.
me?
Billy, wait for the warrior class. Just come once. And bring your sword.
You can't put it into words. That moment, when you look into the eyes of the one who's supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part of who you are. But her will changed the day the Northmen took him from her. Selma knows that there's no going back to how things were. That there's nothing to go back to at all.
Their gods consumed your mind. They will use this power to destroy you.
Stop me. I still feel.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here.
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone.
You will die here,
No.
and all your suffering will have been for nothing.
Okay, so it looks like it probably turned into a slideshow for you guys. Looks like for a moment I lost 98% of all the frames in the game, which is no good. So we're going to give it a moment for the bitrate to try to recover here. I really don't know why it's so strong. I'll turn down the graphics settings a little bit more to try and make this playable, or try and make this watchable for you guys. But I really don't know what we can do about that. Well, we've turned the game down as low as it goes, so we'll give it just a moment here for things to recover. Let's try and make it less harsh on my... What's the rest of it? Okay, we seem to have recovered. This play... Are you guys able to see it again? What? We're trying to get up to the tree now, and this tree is clearly some form of Yggdrasil, some reference to that. The world tree complete with people hanging from it. The dynamic symbols again, there are similarities to Central Asian, mostly shamanism, less so reference to actual Norse, but there is this certain appeal of where games need to make things feel right to the audience and feel right to the characters inside them. And that kind of random brutality and bone-based shamanism would definitely be appropriate to make this feel like a horrific version of Norse world. Anyway.
Sister trades ships with sorcerers, and in disguise, she aligns with her brother. She gives birth to a son named Sinfield. After a time, she sends him to the forest to seek them. He tests the boy and finds him strong and fearless. He and so they go to take their vengeance on King Sigurd. They're captured, and Sigurd has them buried alive.
Okay then. Yeah. So thoughts on the saga is that version that is being told here is from the prose version for Volsunga. The prose version of the text, Volsunga saga, dating to the middle of the 13th century. Honestly, it borrows heavily from the poetic Edda. We know that. Additionally, it draws on a few other sources, but it tells the most extended version of the history of the Volsungs. Volsung is Sigmunder's father, and the story told here is pretty much exactly as it is in the saga. The only addition of that is the way that Sigmund tested his twin sister Sigurd's first two sons was by asking them to bake a loaf of bread. Inside the bag of meal that they needed to knead was a giant poisonous snake. They sensibly decided that this was not a good idea to try and bake that bread. And so they didn't, and so they got murdered for not wanting to get bitten by a snake. Simply punched the snake to death and then baked the bread. His dad, Sigmundur, was like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't eat that, because I am so buff that I am immune to poison, period. But you are not quite as buff as me, so if you eat or drink poison, you'll die. But if someone attacks you with a poisoned weapon, you're fine. Buff as fuck.
As Sigmund and Sinfjord are being buried alive, Sigmund's sister throws an armful of straw into the grave. Hidden in the straw is Sigmund's sword, the gift of Odin. They cut their way out of the graveyard and set fire to Sigurd's hall. The king burns to death. Sigmund calls to his sister to come out so that she may live and go on. She does come, but who will tell the truth? And she will slept with him, her brother, to beget a strong foundation.
Well, it's good advice. We're not going to pay attention to it, but it is good advice. Yep, and Sinfjotli eventually does die before Sigurd, Sigmunder's youngest son, is born. The way he dies is that Sigmund and Sinfjotli go off and Sigmund gets married to the Queen of the Kingdom. This queen is a sorceress and absolutely hates Sinfjotli because he's going to get the inheritance and not her children. So she has a big feast and she poisons his goblet. Sinfjotli goes, Dad, this one's poisoned. And so Sigmund drinks it. And then she poisons it again. And Sinfjotli goes, Dad, this one's still poisoned. And so his dad drinks it. And the third time, she poisons it. And Sinfjotli goes, Dad, this one's poisoned too. But Sigmund is so flustered at this point that he's just like, it'll be fine, just filter it through your mustache. And so Sinfjotli shrugs and sighs and drinks it and dies. Sigmund gets sober very quickly after that, and ends up, I believe, bundling the queen into a sack, stoning her to death and throwing her in a river, and then leaving. And then goes off to bury Sinfjotli, but Odin stops by as he's carrying Sinfjotli to the Volsung, where Volsung was buried, so he could be buried with his ancestors. And Odin's like, no, just give it to me, it'll be fine. Give the body to me, and I'll take care of it. And buries seems to flee away into the mists and is never seen or heard from again. Sigmund then goes off and eventually gives father's cigarette and dies in battle, where Odin screws him over. So there's a sword there. Inside the scary tree is a sword. Okay, so yeah, when Sigmund died, he was in battle against a rival king and was doing pretty well until a mysterious old man walked onto the battlefield and stabbed his sword with a spear and it shattered. So Odin just came in with Gungnir and fucked up the sword, which is unnamed originally. In Sigmund's half of the story, Gramar has no name. It's only until Regin reforges it in the middle third of Volsung Saga when Sigurd asks him to, that it is named Gramar. But we get to do some fancy trials. Also, the tree here going across into three different worlds from three routes.
Never rust, and they would slice through iron and stone and bring victory to its bearer. The angry waves cursed it. It would be the death of man every time it was drawn. And it would be the death of the king. Let me tell you about the sword, Tyr.
Okay, so the three routes is reference to Yggdrasil, where the three routes, under one is Midgard, under one is Niflheim, specifically Hell, and under the third is I believe to Jotunheim. And yeah, this section here tells of Hellblade saga, or the story of the war shield maiden Hellblade. And her sword, well, you may recognize the name from the Fire Emblem 4 stream. This is the same name. This is the origin of where the sword, the name of the sword Tyrving comes from.
So, you remind me of a story that the Northmen tell about a young woman warrior. Her name is Hellblade, the daughter of a berserker born after he was killed. She's a wild, willful child who teaches herself to fight with weapons. When she learns where her father is buried, her only desire is to reclaim the treasure buried with him, but above all, the sword, Tyr.
Well, also this place that is far away at very distance is just like a short swim. So that's cool. I know. Her father's name is Angantyr, which Tyr means God, so there is there is some reference here. I don't remember what Angan means. I know it does have a specific translation that's appropriate for that character. But yeah, Hervor tries to claim the sword from her father, Angantyr, who is the second owner of Tyr. The original king who forged it dies, and then Angantyr, who ends up getting the sword, realizes it's cursed AF, and so when he dies, he's buried with the sword and becomes an undead Droiger to make sure that the sword doesn't fall into anyone else's hands. So he's in a burial mound that he surrounds with rings of ethereal flame, and Hervor, disguised as a man, is the only one who can walk past the flames. Walk past the flames and try and claim the sword from him.
Billy, I'm here. I'm here for the trials. Like when we first met.
Oh, this is very, very dark. But we can at least wait either way. Also, here we have a map. So, we got a few forts here. Oh, other nothing there.
What's wrong? What happened? Can you hear me? Just wait there. I'll find you.
Yep, so we've got a very spooky crypt. I have here a bunch of tabs. There's room counted in some, so I'm going to try and explore, but avoid getting too badly turned around. That's fine.
Hervor disguises himself as a man to join a band of warriors, and so becomes their leader. When they come to the island where her father is buried, her men do not want to go ashore. They say that evil haunts the island, and that it is a worse place by day than other places are by night. Fearless, she rides alone. There are many grave mounds, and all of them have ghostly flames burning under them. She comes to the grave mound of her father after passing through these ghostly fires, as though they were a mist. The flames now pass through the grave enough, damp enough for death.
Yep. Oh, so at that point, there's a very, very dramatic poem. Oh, we've got another Windstone Knight here.
Within the burial mound, Hervor calls on her father to wake from death and bring her his sword. She says that it is not seemly for the dead in grave mounds to bear valuable weapons. Her father answers with words of warning. You go to your doom. Baleful runes surround you. You have gone mad. You have lost your mind. Your thoughts are confused. It is dangerous to wake the dead.
Rude, Okay, I believe that one, yo, that's the one that's the wrong way. So, what you can see on the floor there is actually a map to get you through this area, which should ease some of the trouble, but it's sometimes hard to figure out exactly where we are. We're at the one with the crushed rock, we're at that junction right now. So we just need to basically keep turning, constantly keep taking the right fork. That one should be a mistake. Yo, that one goes nowhere. And each room is marked with a different shield, which these designs are all roughly plausible. I don't know that we have any actual attestations, but they're all quite in the rough vicinity of what would be fine. I'm actually gonna go this way though, because I believe there's one more green stone in this area. And once, okay, fine, fine. So that's me back one. And yeah, you just get teleported all over the bloody place. Anyway, Hedver's attempts end up not working very well. She tried her best. She gets the sword, and ends up causing a whole lot of death and misery because of it. Which path is that? Which room is this? No, whether this is not the right way. Oh, that's something all the way back to the Stephen Path. Glass. Oh, actually, I'm not sure about where I found that. That did something. Okay. Well, we'll go back through one more time together. Okay. Well, after that mess of an attempt, what did, how did I end up? I got another one here. Some of this for Greyhound is obviously not directly affected in anything. Mm-hmm. Okay. I need to find the map again to figure out where the hell I am. Okay. This place is annoying because even if you know the right way, if you try to explore at all, you just get very much screwed up very quickly. At least I do. And it is frustrating. What's different is each shield has a different name or a different symbol, by the way. Just so everyone's aware. And if you remember the order, you can get through the symbols just off of that. Sadly, I am going in circles really hard, so I'm going to just try and locate. I'm going to try and get back to the entrance and run it from the beginning, because otherwise I'm not going to be very successful. I'm somewhere near the beginning, but where exactly is uncertain. Is there the mapping here? No. Hmm. I've done something very odd, and maybe made it too young to tell.
That voice. It's not done yet.
Okay, well now I know where I am at least, so I can just kind of keep going sideways, 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 and get out of here. I feel like I missed a rune thunder, which is irritating. This area is not enjoyable for figuring out where the rune thunder is supposed to be. That's okay. We made it through somehow after that big mess. You'd think, for my third time playing this, that I'd remember what the route is a little bit better. But anyway, greyhounds, I guess, are something we can talk a lot about as I get lost inside them. There are a whole bunch of greyhounds around, all the time, in North literature, in pretty much all saga genres. The Eastern Hemisphere have some, or the Icelandic family sagas, which are supposed to be more realistic, but, you know, whatever. And the legendary sagas, first others who have a whole bunch. And more often than not, these greyhounds are host to the undead. For example, in the other, supposed to be super realistic Nail Saga, after the main character of the first half dies, did not play that ending, his ghost is seen in his burial mound, just well, shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. Anyway, his ghost is seen outside the burial mound and screws up, just starts singing.
I'm leaving. Off the side. I think it will be good for me.
It's the darkness. It's speaking through you.
Dad, it's me. I think I can beat it. No.
I can see the darkness in your eyes, child.
I'm a boy.
Boy.
Jesus.
No.
Say to help me.
It's a trick.
Say it will be normal.
Normal. No boy is going to save you. No one can. When they see the rot growing inside you, they will turn their back on you. The gods can only fix you through my hand. You're going nowhere.
No.
You will not defy the gods.
So, welcome to this is the first time you meet him though. He's a jerk.
Come, child. Come. escape the darkness. Your curse will make everyone suffer. You will have blood on your hands!
And we beat the first trial of Item. We made it through the barrier mount. And we overcame Simon's fearless father, and we got 1/3 of the sword. And Brother Jerome, I actually did turn down the graphics from last time, so the graphics are genuinely not that good right now. But that's because my internet is still being really unstable. So no real reason, like it shouldn't be. Nothing I've done should actually be making the game, or making my computer chug like this, so kinda sucks, but we'll make do. Huh. Okay. We can go over the edge here, and go to the second one, and then go do that one on the end. So, after that fun time, let's do another. With these giant sword blades.
About a god of the Northland called Baldur, the second son of Odin. He was beautiful, good, and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him, only good things were told of him. But he was the first of the gods to die.
So, one line later, we are in yet another world, which is actually just the other side of the fjord, over there. You can see there's the Hellmouth trees somewhere over that way. There it is. We just came across here to this very large building, which looks a lot like a save church. I will keep saying it because it keeps being true. It looks a lot like a save church. But, we heard of Kirby, a little bit of Hellblade Saga. Of the, 4 generations, that was one single generation of Hellblade Saga. And now we gotta do Baldur's, the Death of Baldur, as told in the Crozetta. I get here too, but what's his name? There we go, this is our best view of it, because it fixed everything. This underlying thing being the stone is not historically accurate, but it does look very good. But the best of it, this several tiered design is legitimate. Fine Lines do a really good job on the construction, fitting some mix of what historically it was like, and what we expect it to be like. And it usually walks those pretty well, and then adds a horror flair on top of it.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Baldur. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night.
This is a poem of Baldur's Dreamer.
The gods feel for his life. So Baldur's mother makes everything in the world: fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness, swearing oath not to harm ourselves. One by one, they each make a vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him. Baldur's mother boasts. Only Loki, the father of Hel, the mistress of Hel,
Well, this is chain shut, so we need to find some other way to do it.
She will.
Will this one open? Maybe. Well, on the other side. And so we drop a bridge and we'll go back into the other world. How do we go? Go ahead. Because the changes we made to one world do apply to the other. The two get influence each other quite nicely. And as such, we can go back into the dark main world and go back across this bridge. Well, you'll notice the gate is done.
Go through it. It's dangerous.
Nothing. Randomness. Two tall metal gates. Chill. Well, that one still is not working. Okay. So, and let's get the gate up.
The world won't seem so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Lillian told you to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of colour stretching away from the cloud. Some of explored new paths into the unknown.
Yup. There we go. Yeah, this one is slightly too tall for the period. This is something I still notice. We saw it with Dark Souls, and we see it with this game, even though this game is much more historically minded. There's this larger than life existence to it. Oh, that's what it is. But I can't get through that. But, you know, things are still, to some extent, larger than life. Some of them are fine. Like this is fine. The overall dimensions of this case are okay. But the doorways are too big, and the gaps above them are too big. And I still am not really sure what to make of it. Unfortunately, my bitrate went to shit, so we'll be back in a moment.
Feast and rejoice and amuse themselves by throwing spears and stones at Balder,
That is not
striking
okay.
with sword and axe. But it comes to no harm, whatever they do. The gods never cease to wonder at this great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Balder's mother, "Is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe?" "I did not ask the mistletoe," Balder's mother confesses. "I thought it was too young." Oh dear.
That's all the warrior within. His life is coming.
Okay, it's slow to talk here. Maybe. I really don't know why this put so much stress on it. Still, we seem to be back on the rise, back with us. I can't really beat that. Okay, that was a fucking slideshow, but you know, we'll make do. Hopefully finding the bot. We will try and hopefully things will be fine at least in post, so we can keep going for a little bit longer and try and finish this section of the game. That's no good. Okay. Well then. That did not work quite as I hoped it would. So we're gonna go back into this world and see if we can get that main gate open. So I can't open that, and I can't steal that. I can't get around to the outside, I think. Yeah. What a conundrum. I can't get outside there. Yeah.
Do you remember meeting him beneath the tree?
Not really sure why this is happening. Or what that is that I can do to make it this all fun. Back into the dark world, see if I can actually get inside the building. That's weird. I thought I was able to, because that was the reason to open that. The reason to open that door on the other side there is to get around to someplace that's open. Wow. The difference between these two worlds is just night and day. That was not intended. Yeah. Not really sure. Not really sure how I was supposed to do that. Sadly, like, Samuel I don't think recognizes it backwards, but I must be need to get this door open. And that's to make it easier for me to do that, I guess? Weird. This is kind of frustrating because I know that's the right symbol, it's just it's backwards. It's super backwards. And I don't see a way to turn it around so I can't get through this door.
He's the reason she keeps fighting.
But I shouldn't need to. Ah, there. If I could find a way to get up onto that, I could get out and here from that side. So I'm not sure how I'm supposed to climb that. Um, some sort of path? No,
Do you
nothing?
remember the way he stroked her
Okay.
hair?
How very frustrating.
Do you remember
Oh, I
how
can't
he made
actually
you
get through
feel?
that. Uh-huh. That is up too high, so that doesn't matter.
Safety. Safety.
Is there some other things?
He was the only one she could trust. Could she trust him?
No. I do not recognize that as the correct symbol. Let's do it the wrong way. What is the one we have?
Do you think she remembers him? Do you remember how he made you feel?
Well then, this is quite sad. Can't do anything in the other world yet. We can't get inside. Can't get that door open. I have the symbol, but I need to use a handy church and see it.
He didn't
Have
believe that she
yet
was
to
happy,
have
so
church.
he saved you. Stop.
Oh, I know. I am just bad. Where did the light from this go? Straight across to... And path like an angle. I remember how to do this puzzle.
Does it feel wrong? Do you feel
1,
safe?
2,
Do the
3,
handcuffs
4, 5. Okay. It's not very bad at this.
You've got it.
Well, that was kind of embarrassing. It should not have taken me that long to remember how light was.
Stand to the deeper problem of my own nerves.
So we can open up the gate and then
It's real.
make our way in. Oh, this gate's still broken, so that's not an issue. The black gate doesn't exist on the other side. Hey, Penny. As my bit rate keeps declining. Well, I sincerely hope it is less likely on the other side yet, but it is turning into a slideshow. We will keep going on my end. It should be okay.
Where are you taking us? There's a way. There is a way up there. She can do this.
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Banner. The blind god, Hoth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't in. Hoth says, I cannot see where Baldur stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies, here is a wall. I will tell you where he stands. And Hoth throws the mistletoe at Baldur. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Baldur is killed. And for this, Hoth is slain.
Lovely. Okay. Well, the backgrounds mentioned there are Baldur's Dröme, a poem usually counted as part of the poetic Edda, but is not found in the Codex Regius. So it's an Eddic poem, but is not in the main manuscript. It is found in one manuscript. And also, meanwhile, we replaced this stone staircase. I think it's not one part of this.
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Baldur. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her wings. She pushes Baldur's
Years
ship.
had passed since she left her father.
Whoops.
Blonde-haired, unfronted friend. Betty. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement. An intuition that made her an exceptional woman. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds. That of Zimbar and her place. And the other, the future. To realities.
Okay, let me redo that wisdom since I cut off the second half of it. There we go.
The Northmen tell how the gods mourn Baldur. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her wings. She pushes Baldur's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Baldur's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband, and the pile is lit, sending the dead ahead of her sleep. Gods cannot send us dead.
Okay, this would actually be a good time. If you remember last stream, I spent way too long transcribing some runes in the first hall of the game. And I actually did figure out how to translate them. It turns out they're actually not that hard, but it is Elder Fudo, and it reads Hennas hunger heter destiny, Hennas sulks knips. Which, after we do some translation work, it turns out from Elder Fudo runes, so further north into Old Norse, it's Hennar hunger heter diskur, Hennar sulka knifer. So, hunger is the name of her dish, famine her knife. That's a paraphrase of the Prose Edda in the description of Hel and her abode in Niflheim. So, they transliterated a 13th century Norse, or paraphrased a 13th century Norse text into Proto Norse, and then used the appropriate script for the time period. Except, for some reason, they actually used like a rune that does not exist instead of the S rune. I'm not really sure why they did that. That may be a variation that's not in the regular runic alphabet. I am not an expert in runology, so I will not I will not attempt to say that I know better than Elizabeth Rowe why that works that way. Because I know Elizabeth was the one who did the runes for this. The developers themselves had very little experience with Norse history and mythology, and they gave her a whole bunch of leeway to write all of the runestones and to do a lot of or to consult on a lot of the text found in the game.
Overcome with grief, the gods sent Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Baldur return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Arthur asks Hela. We shall see who is truly blessed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Baldur stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Baldur, weep him out of hell. But everything left. Men, beasts, birds, stones, trees, metal, everything. Except for the giantess they found. Baldur was never my friend, she says. Let hell keep what she has. The Northmen say the giantess must have been open in the skies.
It was one of them just backwards. And we'll have to do that in the other world. Okay, so we open up those two. Which means we can go back into the dark world and do another thing. The voices are so pronounced that I immediately think everything's terrible. What's he doing out there?
Do you know? Was it worth it? You're still alive and doing this.
That is a nice bit of, in my opinion, self-awareness. These symbols and these runes on their own, like, I do not think there's logic as to which runes are being judged for which things. I think it's considerations of level design, not of any sort of supposed magical properties these particular runes have. Anyone claiming that they're doing Saber is wrong. Just, there is no other way to say it.
The Northmen tell how the gods punished Loki for Baldur's death. They captured him and took him to a cave. They fetched his two sons and turned one into a wolf, and he ripped his brother's heart. The gods used Loki's own son's entrails to tie him down, and turned these bonds to iron, and dangled a poisonous serpent over his face, so that its venom would drip on him. Each time the venom drips onto Loki's face, he writhes in agony. The Northmen say that is the cause of it. A reminder, perhaps, that if even gods must accept death, and so is we.
Indeed. Well, this ends the second of the three trials of 11. That means that we're getting pretty close to the end here. We just got across one terribly lucky thing. One horribly lucky thing. Plus the spaceship. Yeah.
But she's not too
We're
much.
slowly unraveling of the
Just steady. You can do it, son.
Vaudevillian's so happy. We're slowly unraveling Senya's past yet, and all the horrible, horrible things that happened. Her father was incredibly abusive.
Senua, your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. Your father was born blind. There's not the faintest idea of how he might explain. The doctor only knew that it was the white light. She was afraid of the dark. So we fixed them by taking away their scent. But you give up the beautiful light. You only let us see just a little bit of your lightness. Was this the price you paid for the gift you have? A gift that makes you feel special in life. Just another point of personal honor.
You need for the words to protect you from the darkness. Because I love you. Don't make it worse. I'm so sorry. What if this is hopeless? What if you're wrong? What if
What?
you the sword?
She still blames herself way too much for
This was the trick.
the psychosis, and that she is schizophrenic. Ah, still blames that to her daddy. Oh, that is the wrong person. Yeah, it is. Pursuing something Northman, this whole world of her construction is her fault somehow. But we're getting there. We're making progress. Slowly.
Northmen say that their all-father, Odin, gave his eye in exchange for a drink from Mimir's well, the well of wisdom. In blindness, there can be wisdom. Only by giving can you receive it. For this reason, I give my life and pass on my stories of the Northmen to you, Senua.
No. That is an actual mentality. Uh, Speaking the,
Can you hear me? I'm right here. Can you see me? Breathe slowly. Stay still. Empty your thoughts. Tell me what you feel. Good. And there is a way out.
I can't tell where it comes from.
Yes, you can.
we'll walk here to complete this.
The others. The voices. They've gone.
I'm still here.
So quiet. So funny.
It's okay. Listen to your own breath. Let it rise and fall. Be aware of everything you hear and feel. Your sense is good.
The idea that you are giving something in order to gain more of that something is very well attested in Norse mythology. Odin is obviously the example that they just gave, but Heimdall also does the same thing. He's said to have such good hearing that he can hear, I think it's like grass growing on the other side of the wall or something, but he's also supposed to have lost his ear in some way. So, operates in that weird warrior line. And this area is entirely non-vision based, which is actually really good for my build rate, since we don't have to draw very much into my focus. But it is kind of annoying to play through because you may be able to hear that we are not alone.
I think I'm somewhere else now. Embrace yourself.
Use all your senses. That's it.
And we continue to
Reach the
the
water.
circle.
Good. That's your way out. Follow it upstream.
So sad. I thought you left us over here.
Don't be sorry. It's not your fault.
It was wet. It's inside of me. It won't let me go.
Sorry. My father. He taught me the hardest parts of falling. Not the soul.
This isn't your way. You don't have to help me. I'll do my best. Stop breathing. Seems there's wisdom lost in this place. So she's feels strong.
Now look, there's an actual like body here that is not horribly animalian. I'm not trying to be a hybrid. It's just a person wearing an 11th century conical helmet and a appropriate period tunic. That's cool. Right, there's a flame here. I haven't had one of these
There's
till
a house.
that is a house. Inside the house is a problem.
I don't know what's inside.
Don't be afraid.
There's something.
We can see it however, and oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, yeah, sure, we'll talk about the braids just as soon as I get through this first section, get past the chains. Of course, there's a... Okay, we're fine. I made it. We're fine. As far as I know, these braids with beads braided into the hair, and
Leave it behind. Keep your
the dreadlocks with beads braided into them, as far as I know, that is actually legitimate. As far as we know of the hairstyle, uh, I believe. Okay, those are awful. Those are awful every time I see them.
There's more of them. I think they're moving.
They're breathing different. Listen to the sound of their breath. In and out. In.
Okay, let's get to the fire. So I know the fire is a safe spot. I'd rather not bump into these because they are an instant death. But yeah. I don't know that we have like many surviving cases of female of female burials with head we can actually use as an example, but to the best of my knowledge, this is certainly the... Maybe Evan Pradlin destroyed her. I don't remember. If he does, that would be cool. But yeah, to the best of my knowledge, yes, this is a perfectly legitimate hairstyle to have in the time period. I don't know about that this kind of headdress. I certainly don't remember there being anything like that, but I also don't know for sure on that. So, yeah, tentative guess, braiding beads into your hair in dreadlocks like this would be a thing. And we made it through the body horror of way, way too fond of...
I think I'm in a house. It stinks. Death.
The darkness is testing you. Control.
Oh, I know what this section is. I dislike this section. More things there. Oh, well. That went well. Fell to my death. That's
I
fine.
think I'm in a house. It stinks. Death.
The darkness is testing you.
take two. Trying to cross this. There we go. Did less better.
There's a well.
Don't turn back. Getting close.
Down into the water. His place just gets worse every moment. That guy's the only one moving, it looks like. He's standing still. They're standing still, they're actually harmless. I would keep going, not run into too many bodies. And we are fine. Obviously, conceptions of undead and corpses. I think Hellblade Saga says that there's one time where there's a Druiger, super unpleasant fellow in life, and after he dies, his body swells up like twice its size, and is black as can be. Similarly, in Dractus Saga, the ghost Welmer his corpse is supposed to be swollen and black. So that process not gets to that kind of body horror.
You see? Your eyes are open, you gone.
You wouldn't find a little girl. She could be anywhere. There's no memory until she got there. There's no path. But here, for the first time, someone was there to her.
You found your own. All you needed was a little help. A little help.
And that finishes the last of the... Well. That finished up another one of these. I believe that's all of them. I don't remember. Nope, there's another one over here. Dang it. Fine. Well, we'll keep going. How many more are there? Is it just this one? Hopefully it's just this one. Because I'm not trusting my, everything else, or my internet to continue to hold out. But we're gonna keep trying. It's been not awful so far. Anyway.
It was so terrible that not the oldest man among us would remember the like. Hundreds died. The sickness took nearly every person younger than 40, and many older. And where dying mothers gave birth, the marks of the plague were on the babes as they came out of the womb.
Well, I've got one more file here with the plague. And we're in a bog. plagues were definitely a huge deal in the sagas and in the Viking Age, because there's really no hope for them. If
Please. Go towards it. He's going down. He's disappearing. Follow him. Don't let him disappear.
if someone ends up
It's just a dream.
in them getting the plague and bringing it,
Like your warrior tracks. Go here and help me.
yes.
The stench of rot. She must taste it. This one? No. Not everyone can. There's once one day when she went to the river with the water. She could taste the rot. No one else could. She knew something was wrong with it. So it stopped. She hoped to leave it they just laughed at her. Soon enough, as the bodies piled up, no one was welcome. And they knew that she was not
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's another one of these wide open gates. But I'm not sure what it. Oh, it just deletes that. Okay. There we go. Anyway, plague, when it hits, there's just nothing for it. You just kind of have to let it run its course, and then you're done.
How are you going to fix it? Get to the house. You have to find it. Get to the house. Get to the house and finish this. It doesn't finish until you get to it. Before you
You can see there's all these fragments, and then you just have to line up and open them that way. But yeah. In Eirik's Saga Veda, it describes a plague that hit Greenland, which is probably the most northern land device of the lot of them.
The Northmen speak of death, a lamp shaped like a half moon that appears inside a house and goes around the walls. I once saw death appear to follow. At first the shepherd died, then the guest died, and then the farmhands, and then the farmer and 6 of his men drowned in the sea. As the dead return to hell. If you see the death,
So, as far as I know, like, I've not really ever heard of a deathman in North literature. The other version of this area describes part of Grettis saga, a saga from about 1300, so 14th century. The outlaw Grettir Ásmundarson, who was supposed to live in the end of the 10th, early 11th century, and was an outlaw for 19 years, the longest lived outlaw in Icelandic history. In that saga, because I don't have to actually locate this on time or not, given how stressful this next section is, I'm not sure I'll actually find the runes then. So, in that section, the Grettir is fighting the ghost Glaumr, Draugr who's haunting the farm, and is trying to wrestles him and falls outside of the farmhouse and sees the moon reflected in Glaumr's eyes and becomes terrified of the dark for the rest of his life because of it. Also, that curses him so that He was supposed to be almost probably comparatively strong to Sigurd, but gets cursed to never grow stronger than he is at that moment. So that is what the other one references as a death moon, but there's no associations that the moon itself is a death moon there. I've not looked it up to confirm any of those cases when that happens,
Where are you?
but
I'm here! I'm right here!
Are you in there? Come out and tell us.
anyway, plagues, if they hit, I was talking about Apex related before that, right? Um, one hits Greenland, and they just kind of just have no choice but to die. And actually, there's another undead in that case, because Thorstein
We'll have to find him.
Karkse? No.
Focus.
Thorstein Eriksson uh, gets the plague and dies. And when he dies, his ghost comes back and says, "Don't worry, I'm in heaven, Christian heaven." He converted to Christian though his father to Christianity, though his father was less than thrilled by that. And was like, "Oh, don't worry, God let me come back to prophesy your future. You're gonna do really well for yourself. And you're gonna eventually leave Greenland and marry someone in Iceland, and it will be good." Oh, good. Let's do this. This is the one
There was
fresh.
an author called Grettir, big, red-haired, immensely strong, but he was afraid of the dark. It happened one night that an undead creature came to his house to drag him outside into darkness and kill him. He resisted with every ounce of his strength. He climbed to the door frame, but it gave way, and they spilled out of the house, and the monster fell back, and the moon shone down on its ghastly face. Grettir, terrified, cuts off its head, and is cursed forever. From that moment on, wherever he was, he would see those hideous eyes staring in the background. Sometimes we allow our own fear to hurt us to the grave.
So this one's actually one that's just wrong to the saga, because it's not his house. And he's basically, it's actually directly borrowing from Beowulf. We do know that either there's an oral tradition very similar to Beowulf, or that this is a case where the saga was aware of the Old English poem, or the saga writer, I should say, was aware of the Old English poem, or something very similar to it, and incorporated that into the saga. So you replaced Glaumer, this undead creature, with Grendel, and it would be exactly the same. Where Grettir comes to a rich farmer's house and is told of their problem and says, "I will find it. Everyone go to sleep. I'll pretend I'm asleep, and then I'll wrestle him to death." And then he does so. And they end up banging around, and eventually the creature escapes from the hall, but it dies from it. So this is pretty much beat for beat copying Beowulf's fight with Grendel. Anyway, yeah. I should mention, oh yeah, I wanted to say one more thing with plagues before we get to this very stressful section. There's a historical plague in 1258 where basically bad weather and plagues end up being correlated. In fall 1257 to about Easter 1258, northern Iceland had a plague that was unusually bad. This happened alongside the worst winter anyone had ever seen, and because it was so bad, people wound up running out of resources to help fight the plague, and so 400 people wound up dying in Iceland that winter, mostly in Midfjordur, which is in northern Iceland, near the bishopric of Olaf, and so it's about like an hour's drive west of the city of Hellblade now. And things are really bad hit rate-wise, but they're finally recovering, so let's move on to the next section. So now there's an angry mob on our heels. We'll try and just stay away from that. So there's an angry mob on our heels, we need to locate the that. We need to run away from the angry mob trying to burn Senua alive. Keep trying. There's the second one. Got it. Oh, we need one more. Yeah. There it is. Hey, I actually had a pretty good time of it this time. Head out, wrong direction. There we go. Made it first try. I have definitely died to this a few times. And yeah, horrifying sludge monster. Burning bodies was, of course, one of the only ways to deal with plague. It's also a way to deal with the undead. Those two end up both being a kind of curse, and so, like, in End of Video Saga, the super unpleasant guy keeps coming back from dead after he swells up horribly bloated, and so his son reburies him.
What happened?
And I will finish the story in a moment.
How would they know such a thing? Are they gods? None of us are. They're just people. Good people, but they're scared. They're afraid of what they can't see. The children scared of the dark. And they got stories to fill the void. It's not finding this place. You have to step out of this darkness. Let them see who you really are, like I am. You're not a monster.
Okay. There we go. All four things done.
The ground reforged. We will have Odin's blessing to walk up gods and into the halls of hellfire. Challenge Hela.
And the sword will lead me to him. Like when we first met.
So, anyway, in End Video Saga, so much dialogue. I can't tell stories through dialogue.
To leave her past behind. And come along. In days
The soul is tainted by the gods of darkness. Leave it.
you lifted her. You once me to take.
You will pay a price for this.
father is not supposed to die like this.
You see it clearly now, Samuel. The suffering, of course.
This is your fault.
You brought this plague to us! You have
Oh gosh, my frame rate. What the hell?
They're coming for you now. They're coming to get you.
Okay. So, gameplay-wise, we just got a new, new tool in our arsenal.
In the sea of corpses, the corpse waved through itself over the ones I loved. The ship broke up under them. The ship that had sailed from the land of shining fields. Their memorial stone is sacred. Come not here in the sun. Come not with a sword. Come not crying over a naked corpse. Come not with disturbed
Okay, I'm gonna let the frame rate recover because I want you all to see this. And, right now things are kind of rough on my internet side. In the meantime, I can finish that story and go on from there. In Epic Saga, a super unpleasant man, I believe named Torgrim, ends up coming in and super unpleasant his whole life, dies and becomes an undead and keeps haunting us. His son, Arkek, ends up reburying him and then building a wall between the new cairn and the rest of it in order to try and stop everything from going horribly wrong. This works for Arkek's lifetime, but then they try and make it, or they end up having to go out to that wall because he keeps causing issues, and they find his body swollen and black but not rotted. And so then they end up burning the corpse, like you would with a plague body, in order to try and make it less bad. These burning plague bodies, well, that isn't the end of it, because this is another demon cow. Demon cow names continue. A cow ends up licking the ashes off the rock where his body was burned and gave birth to a beautiful bull that grows up to be exceptionally strong and exceptionally angry. And so the owner of this bull eventually gets gored by the demon cow, and it runs into the sea and drowns. So, kind of how burning and death and plagues and undead all end up being connected. Meanwhile, we also got a new sword. That sword, Grammar, lets us charge up a heavy attack to dispel darkness without needing to use focus, which is super cool and super powerful. But when we got it, we went to this area. So, yeah, this area, as you might guess, looks an awful lot like, or at least in my opinion, looks an awful lot like depictions of tortured souls in the Christian hell. Far more traditionally hellish. This looks like no underworld or afterlife in Norse or Celtic that I know of. This is very much straight up Christian hell, damnation, and eternal torture. So, Senua's state is deteriorating. Well, ow. So now we get more combat in this hellscape. Overall, not a whole lot to... Okay. Worry about here. Just knee this guy in the face and keep going. Knee him in the face again and break his sword. Okay, we've got another berserker here, like who we fought in the church. And extra strong attack. Extra strong attack and dodge again. Charge up with attack and there we go. You know what? Yeah, we'll do that. And you can see Reimer is actually completely lit up while we're focusing. Which is super cool, means all of the attacks do way extra damage. And there we go. Challenge completed. And here is this whole area.
She calls you Senua, go to her answer the pitiful call.
Darkness took her life and it will take
Uh-huh. So, how does this, I'm curious, so for two of you who are here, how does this, area feel to you, with flood sea, with rain and lightning, and walls and walls of writhing corpses? Because obviously this is a huge departure from both the color scheme and tonality of the entire rest of the game. The rain didn't have lightning attached earlier, and the color scheme has been mostly blue. Did I go the wrong way? I must have done. Not that. So is it over here? Yeah. Evil-minded with the torch. Symbol sacrifice Christ.
It's not too late. He's calling for you. Why did you join him?
Oh, we got another guy here. Another guy here plays a lot like Valravn does. Shit. Gotta. Luckily, you don't need focus anymore to break illusions. Oh. Sure. Don't need to game. And there's another one of these guys. And now we will. Oh, ow. Just a really hard combat section. One of my least favorite combat sections of this whole game. Oh, cool. Ram does more damage, it just completely one-shots these guys if I can land the heavy attack. Ow. Stop it. And one more guy here. Okay, this keeps going. We just continue. Okay. So do not. Double hand axe berserkers are awful, but we can actually do this and try and take them on this way. Oh, no. Cool, got him. And this guy we can take on. No big deal. And there's more of them. And we are so close to them. Hey, we did it! Okay, that was really, really long. But we are finally out of this area, and this will actually be the last thing we do in this game once we... or...
You take surrendered to the voices. The darkness has taken you. Galena
last thing we'll do today in this game. Yeah, they're really leaning into this idea. We are almost done though. We have almost out, and we have almost earned the right to use this sword. We'll just walk along this dude's arm for a bit. And keep trying to escape. They're all very much burned, which, yeah, I think that's supposed to be plague related, not Viking related.
I can't fight it anymore. Not on my own.
That night, she gave up in her world to follow in the footsteps of her mother, to go to a place where the darkness couldn't reach her.
Things are pretty heavy right now.
Someone. Look at me.
I'm calling for you.
We've lost so many. And I've lost my father. I can't lose you.
Blood in my hands.
I didn't say that. We've done nothing wrong.
Someone's right. Everyone suffers.
Zimmel is a fake. He is a hateful, bitter liar. He's poison. His words still haunt you. Who do you trust? Him? Or me? Do you still believe in each other? In us? Come back to me. Please. Don't let this darkness.
The hardest battles are fought in the night. He gave her the sword with which to fight in more ways than one. But she gave him her word, never to surrender. I shall know there is a little hope. A little hope.
So, let's take a look at that sword before we wrap up today. So that hilt is, apart from the Keons being way too long for a Viking Age sword, that's a perfectly legitimate style we found on hundreds of swords. Obviously, most ones we found, or all the ones we found, don't have the wooden handle or the wooden part of the hilt still around. There it's just the tang and the pommel and then the blade. But that is perfectly legitimate. But the sword this is supposed to be is Gram, Sigurd of Falkenstein's sword. That sword has a storied history after its Sigurd reforges it. The game follows the beginning of the history, but afterwards, Sigurd goes and after he kills Fafnir, this Volsung saga actually describes the sword for us. It is, according to that saga, it is about, I think it's 7 L's long. No, not 7 L's. Regardless, it's 7 something. I don't remember what the exact unit measurement is. It works out to about 5 feet. And Sigurd is so tall that when he's wearing the sword at his hip, like Senua is here, the bottom edge of the scabbard scrapes the top of a field of full-grown rock. So, yeah, that's the thing. That sword is so heavy that most people would need 2 hands to wield it, and Sigurd wields it easily with 1 hand. But that does not keep Sigurd alive. He ends up dying due to treachery with one of the Niflungaf killing him while he's sleeping. After that, according to Thithric's Song of Bern, it is inherited by Hildebrand. Hildebrand is one of the most storied heroes of the Old High German tradition. The Hildebrandslied is a well-known poem, right up there with Nibelungenlied. Hildebrand was the foster father and retainer of Theodoric of Verona, the Roman emperor in the 5th century. The Norse tradition moves him from being from Verona to Bern. So that's cool, but Hildebrand inherits God while Theodoric uses the Ecosax. And he has that and ends up actually using it to fight and in the oldest sources kill his son. In a very old motif, you may know that from the Rostam story from Indian tradition. So it's a very old Indo-European myth of father unknowingly or sometimes knowingly killing his son. Cucullin does it with his son Conla. Hildebrand does it with his son. Rostam does it with his son. So that's a very old cross Indo-European tradition that happens, but is kind of the last attestation of grammar in the Old Norse sources. After that, it just seems to fall off the record. I should mention, I think Hildebrand's says that he still inherited Siegfried's sword, because it would be Siegfried in that tradition, but it's the Balmung, not Gramr. Also, the word Gram means king, so this is literally the king's sword. Which is cool. Anyway, we can go up here. Leslie's voices, I hope they encourage us. We are going to ignore them in just a moment to call this a stream. There we go. That's that door. We're not going to walk through this stream though. Actually, I needed to save, which is annoying. Otherwise, we'll have to redo some time. So we will open the door and then we will call it a day. There we go. Door open. Door open number 2. We will probably have more cutscenes. Nope. No cutsceneless. How glorious. Really? Well. We enter here, the second to last area of the game. And that we will, on Saturday, we will try and finish this game.